Hello, dear students. It's your peer mentor. I want to take a moment to remind you of the incredible potential each one of you holds. The exam ahead is not just test of your knowledge, but opportunities to show how far you've come and how much you've learned. Remember, every late night study session, every page turned, and every formula memorized brings you one step closer to your goals. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, but don't let it deter you. Instead, let it be the fuel that powers your drive to succeed. Stay focused, stay determined, and above all, stay confident in your abilities. You've prepared for this, you are ready for this, and you will get through this. Keep pushing forward, and soon enough, you'll look back on this time with pride at all you've accomplished. Good luck and go conquer those exams. Warm regards, your peer mentor and your student assistant, Miss BC Ngui. Hello, dear students. Thank you for the support, the motivation, the likes, the subscribers. I really do appreciate. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to click the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that each time that I upload a video, you're going to be the first one to get notified so you can watch that video when it's necessary. Okay. So this is me in this video trying to share some study tips and strategies that I've used and they worked effectively well for me. And maybe you are struggling with something, you're struggling with studying effectively, you're struggling with capturing and studying effectively, you are struggling with memorizing content, you are struggling with understanding. This video is going to help you a lot. So don't leave the video, don't stop watching, watch till the end. Okay, so I'm going to share my experience from first year and how these things worked for me. Okay, so a quick recap: when I got to NW, I started doing something that I didn't apply for. So because of capacity, I had to do marketing instead of a BSc degree. This is what happened. So I was not focused, I'm not gonna lie, because I was not really into marketing. And as many students say, I was also part of those students who say, I've never done accounting before, I'm not sure I can pass accounting. I've never done statistics before, I don't know anything in stats. I've never done business management before, so how will I even pass? So many students, when they get to the university and they find themselves doing something that they didn't apply for because of one thing or the other, they always have those things in mind. And when you are not focused, you do not really have the intentions of doing something, then it's never going to work. Because, for example, you did science in high school, like physical science, physics, biology, and now you are in the university and you're doing business management where you have to do economics. Many students complain of they've never done econ before, so they're not sure, they're not even understanding anything in economics. So when you already have that mindset that you've never done it before, how is it even going to work for you? For you to even grab the content and start from somewhere. The economics first year is not even deep, like it is micro, like it means that's an introduction even. So it's just a little bit advancement from what you did in high school, just more details. Okay. So you do not have to start saying that you can't do well in it. For example, when you were growing or when you were born, you were not born with you already knowing what life science was or knowing what biology was. You had to grow up and you learn something from scratch. You learn biology from scratch, starting with the basics, and you could understand better. And now you liked biology. It's the same thing when you get to the university. Assume, even though you're not starting from scratch with economics because it started somewhere, but imagine that you have to do it regardless of anything. You have to do it whether there's BSc or there's BA, you are doing econ. Many students find themselves when they get to second year, because they're doing something that they didn't apply for, they tend to switch courses and go back to something else. And you can find yourself You could find yourself even in the next 5 years switching courses because you found this thing difficult, because you found this difficult. Now you have to go back to look for something that's easier. When you get to second year, the more you go, the harder it gets. So when you get to second year, you're like, no, this is difficult. I'm gonna go back and apply for education. I'm gonna go back second year, apply for law. I'm gonna go back for marketing and apply for communications. So, firstly, is it what you wanna do? Ask and seek God. Is this the path that you've chosen for me to take? Because if it's not your right path, if it's not the path that was planned for you or God had for you, it's not going to work, regardless of how hard you try. And that is why you find many people doing something and you can see that they're putting so much effort into it, but it doesn't still work. Is that the path that God planned for you? Is this what I'm supposed to do? We're not saying that you shouldn't switch courses, but go deep into it. Look at it. Do you like this thing? What is needed in the market? And sometimes it's not about what you wanted, it's about what is needed in the market. Okay. Many students are gonna do this degree and then they get certificates and they do not have jobs because there's no employment for that particular thing, because it's not needed in the market at that time. So look at the advancements in the country. What is going to be needed in 2, 3, 4, 5 years when you are graduating and you're getting a degree? Is it going to be necessary for them to employ marketing students? Is it going to be necessary for them to employ accountants? You look at those things, you forecast. So the techniques that I used for my first year, I studied hard, like hard, but nothing was showing. So sometimes it's not about you just sitting on your books the whole time, sitting on your laptop the whole time. Does it really make sense? Because when I was doing marketing first year, I don't know, I could sit on my laptop for hours and study for hours, but nothing was moving, nothing was changing. I was not understanding anything. But that was also because my mind was not made up. So when my mind was made up second semester, when I got back, I was like, I have to do marketing regardless. What if this is God's plan for me to do marketing? Let me do marketing. And from there, imagine first semester you're not doing good, you're not doing good in accounting, you're not doing good in stats, you are not doing good in business management that much. And when you get to that was introduction first semester. When you get to second semester, it's a bit advanced, a bit in depth. So, and you're doing absolutely amazing second semester with even more harder modules. So, what changed? Your person, your thinking. What changed? Your focus. What changed? Your mindset. What changed? Your desires. What changed? Everything changed. And when you are focused into something, you are motivated into doing something, you are able to do it, and you do it regardless. You don't care what it's in front, behind, or beside you, and you keep doing it even more harder. It's going to work perfectly well. It did work for me, and I'm sure it can work for someone else. Those strategies do not always work for everyone, but why don't you give it a try and see if it's going to work for you? Why don't you try? These techniques that I used were effective, and I'm still using some of them now. But though first year, I didn't use a calendar to write my program for the day, program for the week. I just do my things. But I know that at the end of the day, if I don't do the thing that I wanted to do, my conscience is not going to leave me. It's going to keep judging me. And that is it. It was just my conscience. Even when I just sit and I'm doing nothing, like I'm not on my laptop, I'm not on my books, I'm not cooking, I'm not doing nothing, I just sit. My conscience is not going to leave. My conscience is going to be like, you are wasting time. You should have used this 20 minutes to catch up something. You should have used this 10 minutes to pick up something. You should have used this 10 minutes to do this thing. And that is how my whole academic life works. If you can't find me at my rest, you're going to find me on campus. If I'm not on campus, I'm at my rest, in my room, in my house. I don't do outings, but I'm not saying that you can't. You can, but you have to be able to manage your time properly, okay? So I'm going to go into the strategies now. First thing, set your goals. And your goals must be effective. SMART principle must apply. Is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it attainable or achievable? Is it relevant? And is it time bound or time limit. So when you set your goal, what is it that you want to get? And do not set a goal that's not realistic, because that's going to be burnout for you because you can't achieve it. So set a goal that's within your capacity, is within something that you know that I am able and I am willing and I am moved to do this thing. And I will do it regardless. You have to be able to manage your time properly. What must I do within what time? Between this time from 7 to 8, I must study this module. From 5 to 6, I must sleep, or I must relax myself, or I must go out and take a walk if I'm not sleeping, or I must just watch a movie or call a friend just to distract me from stress. So critical time management means that you know what exactly your schedule is. From this time to this time, I'm studying. From this to this, I'm cooking. From this, it's not always easy to work with your time properly, like from the beginning. But when you get used to it, it's going to be like a regular something. It's not going to be like stress for you to go look, what thing am I doing now? To go check, what am I supposed to do now? You're already going to be good with that routine, and it's going to work absolutely amazing for you. Okay, so set your goals, manage your time, and you have to plan. Okay, you plan, what is it that I want to do today. My time management even comes after planning. If I'm doing this today, at what time, what must I do exactly? How is it going to help me? You plan your day. If you can plan your week, you even plan your month, that's going to be absolutely amazing. But sometimes you have a lot of things to do in a day that you can't plan a whole month before, because sometimes things do change during the week. Maybe lecturers' schedules, consultation hours, class tests, online tests, and group assignments. So you can always adjust that. But I prefer a weekly plan where you can write everything that you want to do in a week, because even assignments and tests, they make you know at least a week before. And then also you can do a daily plan, and make sure that when you, after you must have gone through everything and you come back in the evening, go through that plan. Did I do this thing? Did I not do it? And you check, you tick those that you've done, you tick those that were effective, and then you can look at the ones that you did not do, you did not achieve, or were not effective, to see what needs to be done. Why didn't I achieve this thing? Was there something that interrupted me? So you can correct it next time. So if you can set your goals, you plan your schedules, you plan your activities, you critically manage your time, it's going to work effectively well for you. And guys, please do make use of resources on campus. These things are for you. These support systems are for you. If you don't know how to find past papers, you can just send a message or drop a comment under the comment section, and I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to do a video showing you how to get those papers. They actually do help a lot. Past papers help a lot. You're not just going to answer the questions, but it helps you to know how questions are asked, what type of questions are going to be asked, how many marks can this type of question count, and you look at the structure. Though there are no memos on the NW's website for past papers, but you take these past papers when you have studied, you go through them, you see if you can answer those questions. And I always even set my time to see that if this paper was 3 hours, I see that I answer them without my book when I must have studied, without anything, just plan or do it like I'm in an exam room and I write what I know. Then later, when I don't, I then go over it to do corrections, and then I understand much better. That is fast learning. Okay. Past papers do help. If you can't get class test papers, exam papers are on the NW's website. You get them, you practice with them, and they're gonna help you a lot more. Okay. Then the library is there. You can study as much as you want. If you're not a group person, you can go to the quiet area, you study by yourself. If you are the discussion person or you study in groups, you go to the group area and you talk as much as you want. Okay. Please, guys, exams are not something to play with. You must have gotten an exam admission before you can write the exam. So for the whole semester, if you were focused, if you were determined, if you set your goals, You must have seen how realistic those goals are by now, because you must have gotten your participation mark, or you must have gotten your feedback on group assignments, class tests, and online tests and class activities. And then you can already estimate what participation mark you can get. And when you estimate this, you can know that I need to work extra hard for the exam so that I can cover up for this participation mark. Some people do get exam admission with 40, and that is exam tension, because you are not, because you can't get a 60 in an exam or you can't work for it, but you are just stressed that what if I don't have that 60? It means that I'm gonna fail. So I always tell my peers or my mentees or people around me, my friends, don't aim for a 40 participation mark because you want to get exam admission. Go for high participation mark because it gives you that exam tension free mind. Not like you're not going to be tense for the exam, you're going to, but not as someone who has a 40% exam admission. Okay, so don't panic. You've got this. Studying sucks, like it's hectic, but not as much as failure does. When you fail, you're gonna understand, because now you're going for second up. It's even more stressful, and even when you fail second up, you're gonna do that module next year. Like you're carrying it over to the next academic year, and you're giving yourself more stress. Remember, the more you go, the harder it gets. Even when you're in your first year and you're doing 7 modules in a semester, when you get to second year, maybe you're doing 4 modules in a semester. It's not the amount or the number of modules that makes the work easy. So don't think that when you have 4 modules means that you have less work. It's even more harder because you have a lot more concepts, you have a lot more work, you have a lot more assignments to do when you get to your second, third year. So do not be convinced with less modules when you go more higher, because they want you to focus on a particular thing. In first year, you're doing all day academic literacy introduction to see that you can easily flow with the university's agreements, or with the university's rules and regulations. Okay, so please don't postpone that you're gonna study later. Start studying now. There's no time. When you leave work for after, it's going to be more work for you, and you're not going to focus. You're going to be tense because you are running out of time and you want to catch up with everything. So you find yourself turning pages. You're gonna study the whole book in 2 days. Though some people be like, we study more under pressure, but start now. Okay, even if you're starting exams on the 21st, 24th, start studying now. You must have even started before, because you had to prepare for class tests, you had to prepare for group assignments, you had to prepare for presentations. You must have done some work some way within your that module content. So guys, please don't leave work for later. When you think about it, you do it at the moment. And get focused. It's not about sitting on a laptop for 24 hours. It's not about sitting on your table for 12 hours. It's not about sitting in front of your books for 17 hours over 5 hours. It's about how effective that works for you. If it's effective sitting for 24 hours, it's good. If you can grab the content, you can understand, you can apply it, it's great. But I am saying that you shouldn't sit there thinking that you're doing work when you are doing absolutely nothing. You're just sitting there for your eyes, fitting your eyes, scrolling down and up, right, left, center, looking at this, and someone's gonna feel like intimidated with what you're doing, feeling like you are doing too much, you're studying too much, and they are not. So don't be that kind of a person. When you're sitting there for an hour and it's effective for you, great. If you're sitting just for 2 hours in a day and if it's effective for you, absolutely amazing. Don't sit there for the whole time when it's not working. Re-strategize. Look at strategies that work for you. Look at what can motivate you to study. Look at what can keep you focused. Distract yourself so that you don't get burnout and feel stressed. Get distractions away from your study area so that you can focus on what exactly is in front of you. Okay. I hope you found this video. It's just a short piece, just my short motivation to you. It's you've come a long way, and I know that you've gone through the semester from July up to now, you've done it so far. Great, amazing. And I'm sure that you can do it for this last month. And I'm sure and I'm trusting you that you're going to excel exceedingly abundantly and above all the stress. You will get there for sure. We are in this together. And if you need help with anything, you can drop a comment, you can send me an email. I'm going to respond to your email with your queries and any other help that I can support you. Remember, I'm a peer mentor. If you are a first year student and you're struggling with something, your social life, how to set your timetable to study, how to study effectively, like I said, how to be focused, what motivates you, you can also send me an email and I'm going to respond as soon as possible, and we can see what exactly to do. I can also set a goal for you. What is it that you want to achieve? And I can also find past papers for you. Anything that I can do within my capacity, okay? Thank you so much, and I hope you found this short piece informative. And I'm so happy that we're doing this together, and I'm sure that we're getting there slowly but surely. But don't give up. Don't give up. Winners never give up. Winners never quit, and quitters never win, because if you go out of it, you're not going to get to the end. Okay, and the end is great, it's amazing, it's marvelous. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. If something comes up again, I'm gonna do another video so that we can all get the help that we need in this particular time to stay focused, to stay motivated, to stay determined and effective. And do have a lovely day, and I wish you all the best in your upcoming exams, and I'll see you again shortly.